whacking, but you don't have bleeding. Unless you want Prince Persia, then there's some, but yeah, they do involve whacking and fighting, if not the whole gore of it. So yeah, fighting, whacking. And so it says in some of the Prince Persia ones there's a bit of blood and...
A bit, you cut people in half.
Oh yeah! Warrior, that's when you go and they go ah! That was one person, ah! 2 people. And in Prince Persia 1 there's this whole, you know, the whole river of blood. There's, walk around in this torture chamber, blood flowing in the floor.
But you don't like that one, do you?
I don't mind it actually, it's one of my friends that makes it go whoa.
According to gamers, the events and actions depicted in video games are unreal and fantastic, and are not to be taken seriously.
Do you think violent video games could affect young minds?
Yes, I do think they could affect young minds, depending on how susceptible young people were. I think the younger the person, perhaps the more susceptible they are, and in terms of being affected, it's more of their discrimination or discernment between what's real and what's not. That's how they could be affected.
Do you think this could cause the game players to become violent?
Possibly, if they can't discern what's real and what's not, then, and they have a history of violence, then it may exacerbate their behaviour, their violent behaviour. I'm not sure if I could say that just watching a violent video game would make someone want to go out and be violent. I think it's a much more complicated matter than that.
In reality, there is a far higher percentage of M-rated movies, such as The Godfather and 300, than there are M-rated games, such as Grand Theft Auto and God of War.
Look, I am aware of Grand Theft Auto, but I have to say I'm not a big fan of video games and I don't play them myself.
I've seen it played by you, looking at you and your friends.
You played Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah? Yes. Yep. Okay. Which one? Anyone. Would playing the game want you to act violently or try to steal a car?
No, actually, I think it would actually make me less likely to steal a car.
If I stole a car, chances are I'd get arrested by the police, and if I got arrested by the police, I'll probably go to jail, and I don't want to go to jail.
No, that would be dumb. It's just silly. I mean, sure, maybe in America it might happen, but I mean, I'm a law-abiding citizen that follows the rules. I mean, come on. Honestly.
What type of idiot would steal a car? It's wrong and bad and no steal a car. It's not a nice thing to do.
In America, video game sales have skyrocketed at the same time that violence among youths has dramatically declined.
This kid shot up his school because he played GTA. What's your response to that? What would you like to tell people about that?
They were idiot kids. It was either the video game was going to make them do that, or they're just stupid children. You know, if the video game's not going to make them shoot someone, then they're gonna end up doing it someday. You know, whether it be through PlayStation or alcohol or any drugs or weird stuff. You know.
In a number of overseas situations where people have gone in and shot people up, sort of quite large-scale massacres. I think there have been links back to that person being involved or having played violent video games. I can't give you any specific cases, but I'm sure that there are links. I've heard of links being made. Doesn't mean to say that everyone who plays violent video games is going to resort to that kind of behaviour. But then you don't know, do you? You don't know how violent video games are going to affect individual people. And surely that's the risk.
I can't do it for real. That's why basically I probably play the game, because, you know, it's a created world where I can actually do it without getting hurt or having to deal with any of the consequences. I've been playing a lot of violent video games and I'm not that violent.
But when you see a news item then of someone being horrifically beaten or something like that, how do you react to that, or don't you?
An American study found that of those involved in school shootings, 27% were attracted to violent movies, 24% to violent books, and only 12% to violent video games. It's clear that the most important factor in video game violence is the player themselves, and whether they can take what they see and experience in the right manner. It has been found that the highest contributing factors to violence in youths is mental condition and home life, not exposure to media such as video games. However, such a claim is constantly debated and will be for a long time to come.